Hello, good evening, and welcome to JoyNews Prime live from our studio here in Accra. We're live on DSTV channel 42 and on GoTV channel 125. Around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up, new majority leader Afenyo Markin promises an era of bipartisanship after formally assuming the role of majority leader.
I have a time of bipartisanship. I want to assure you of my commitment.
More from Parliament, where the former majority leader Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu has been explaining he had to step down for peace to reign in his party.
I tendered my resignation as majority leader in order to still the storm and facilitate peace and unity required for the party at this time.
Also, National Democratic Congress assembles technocrats in what the party calls a national policy dialogue towards drafting a comprehensive manifesto for election 2024. We have details from that two-day dialogue at the Peduasi resort. Now, also later, we'll take you to Adamorobe, a village in the eastern region, where residents are challenging misconceptions that majority of them suffer hearing impairment.
A normal town said a crobia association has.
A new majority leader in Parliament, Afenyo Markin, is promising he will work hand in hand with the minority in the spirit of bipartisanship. The Afenyo MP, who is now leader of the House, says he cannot afford a Parliament divided, especially with the MPP and the NDC having equal numbers. The former majority leader, Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu, explained he had to resign for peace to prevail in the MPP. Kwekwa Sante reports from Parliament.
It has been coming, it's been expected. Afenyo Markin, the Member of Parliament for Ifutu, has finally taken his seat as the new majority leader. It's been a rank-cross week for the governing New Patriotic Party's caucus in Parliament, with names like his having come up strongly to replace Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu. On Wednesday, the former majority leader and MP for Swame decided that it was time to step down and announced in the front of his colleagues and the president that he will no longer continue. Today, officially, he did announce that decision to members of Parliament and the Speaker. On why exactly he was doing so, he explained that it was because he wanted peace and tranquility to prevail in his caucus.
Following the reshuffle that His Excellency the President has caused to his government, the matter came to be raised as to whether there should be a change in the leadership of the party in Parliament. The discussions had the potential of degenerating into consequences, the end results of which could be rather fatal, or, as I have stated elsewhere, rather cataclysmic for my party. It was amidst the discussions that at a meeting of the caucus, which the President had requested, I tendered my resignation as majority leader in order to still the storm and facilitate peace and unity required for the party at this time.
He then proceeded to usher in Afenyo Markin to take the only black chair in the majority caucus. The other leaders that have been appointed by the New Patriotic Party have also taken their seat in Parliament. Well, the minority leader, Dr. Kisela Tuforsin, has been welcoming the new majority leader and promising that the two of them need to work together for the betterment of the country.
News of his unexpected resignation hit all of us on the night of Wednesday, 21st February 2024, as we continue to ponder over how this House will overcome the huge void that he has created by his untimely exit from leadership. We cannot help, Mr. Speaker, but to respect his decision to take a bow.
Alexander Afenyo Markin admits this will be a difficult job, but promises that he will work in a bipartisan way.
Honorable Minority Leader, let me assure you that we're going to have a time of bipartisanship. I want to assure you of my commitment. The situation is when you are playing number 5, you are the defender. You are supposed to be abrasive. But now as a striker, I cannot use that strategy. So there will be no more A at all. Mr. Speaker, the Venerable MP for Swami, Honorable Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu, is an institution, no doubt. It's a big shoe I'm going to wear. And I recall Harun Eseku telling me that MPP is not easy to be a leader. And I know behind me are professors, doctors, lawyers, businessmen. They know it. It's going to be tough. But colleagues, I call on your cooperation. I call on your support.
The House is now properly constituted to receive the President next week to deliver the State of the Nation address. Of course, MPs had to haggle over how exactly they were going to receive, talking in their normally coded language in terms of a committee of the whole first before the President will be received next week. But now the majority leader has now assured that he will do so. Of course, there were questions about whether or not he will be the leader of government business in Parliament because of how the architecture of the new standing order was. But he has been explaining that the rules are clear, and as far as he's concerned, being the leader of the majority party here, he is the new leader of government business. Reporting for JoyNews, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Let's do election headquarters now, brought to you by Petrosol, full quantity, quality fuel in full quantity. Now, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has moved to the defense of DCOP Gabriel Prince Wabu concerning a comment made on the role of the police in election security on JoyNews. The former president finds it strange that the police administration dissociated itself from the comment. The police service dissociated itself from the senior officer's public comment that election security is the sole responsibility of the police and will not involve the military in the 2024 polls. He spoke at an event to mark the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission centenary of Islamic revival in Ghana.
I find strange the police service disassociation from the statement made by one of their own about the role of the military in elections. And I think he was right. The primary responsibility for election security is that of the Ghana Police Service. The Ghana Police Service is responsible for the task force that makes sure that elections are peaceful. And they invite the military too, but the military are not primarily responsible for election security. The military are deployed in particular locations and they are only called when the police service cannot handle a situation. And so if somebody says the primary responsibility of election security is for the police, and as he said, the election security is the baby of the police service, I agree with him, he's right. It's the primary responsibility of the IGP and the police service to provide us with security, and other security services complement their efforts.
Ms. Mahama further advocates for justice in curtailing electoral violence, making reference to incidents at Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency, among others.
Because without justice, there can be no peace. And so I urge that all the faith-based organizations, including Ahmadiyya, you include in your advocacy for peace also the advocacy for justice. Because it is the lack of justice that leads to an abrogation of peace. And I can give two recent examples. We all know what happened during the by-election in Ayawaso West Wuogon. Yes, the president set up a commission of inquiry. The commission of inquiry gave its recommendations, which asked that some people be sanctioned. As I speak, nobody has been sanctioned because of Ayawaso West Wuogon. It also recommended compensation for the people who were injured. As of now, they haven't received any such compensation. And that's why I say In addition to advocating for peace, we must also advocate for justice. 8 people lost their lives in the last election of 2020. 3 of them in Techiman and the other 5 in other locations.
Let's talk more about what happened in Parliament today, that the majority leader has stepped down officially from his role as the majority leader. But the question that a lot of people are asking is that who is really the man Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu? Take a look at this profile.
Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu is a force to reckon with in Ghana's politics. He was among 3 of the youngest legislators who got elected into Parliament in 1997. Before entering the legislature, he was an ardent spokesperson for the party, passionate on party policies, especially issues of youth and sports, as well as matters bordering on lands and forestry. The Swami MP is in his last year, serving his last term in office as a lawmaker. He has held several positions, including his appointment as the Deputy Majority Chief Whip in 2001 after the MPP won elections in 2000. Between 2009 and 2016, he served as a minority leader when his party slipped into opposition after losing the 2008 elections to the NDC. But his fortunes changed in 2017 when the MPP returned to power with an overwhelming majority in Parliament, with him becoming the majority leader, a position he held until his resignation on Wednesday, the 21st of February 2024. Whilst at it, Osei Kyei Mensah Bonsu led and initiated several reforms in government businesses in the House. Although without a legal background, the Swami legislator single-handedly wrote the caucus's rules, which came to guide the conduct of the MPP members in Parliament. Kyei Mensah Bonsu is recognized for being very conversant with parliamentary practices, and his views on subjects regarding education, local government, agriculture, and health, among others, are highly appreciated by many. But the former majority leader also led some initiatives in the legislature that courted disaffection for him from a section of the public. These include his role in the passage of the controversial e-levy bill, which some Ghanaians believe was a ploy to inflict more economic hardships on them. In July 2022, angry constituents of Swami attacked him, claiming that he has failed to initiate developmental projects in the constituency, even though his party is in power.
Away from that, Movement for Change leader Alan Kwadwo Tramanting is making a strong push for Ghanaians to vote for him as Ghana's next president. The former Trade and Industry Minister has been urging businessmen and women to ditch the MPP and the NDC and vote for him to come to power to transform the country. He has been speaking out a tour of some of the major market and business centers in the Greater Accra region. My colleague Kenneth Jesse has been on the tour and now reports.
From Makola Market to Kokompe, former Trade and Industry Minister Alan Markin is taking his campaign to the doorstep of the average Ghanaian, trying to familiarize himself with the businessmen and women here in the Greater Accra region. At one of his stops, he maintains that he is the right man to lead the country heading into the 2024 general elections.
So much confidence is being reposed in me. You would have heard from everywhere that we've been to that the majority of Ghanaians are looking for a change. We've had 2 dominant parties for the last 32 years, 16 years between the 2 parties. Both parties have ended their 16 years with the IMF. So it is obvious that it's time for Ghana to move forward to look for an alternative. And from what you've heard and you've seen around Greater Accra today, the people are asking for Alan to become the alternative.
Some of the voters who trooped in to see Alan Kyei say they are yearning for change as well, and they believe that the MPP and the NDC have failed the country and it is time to try a new person.
I'm going to vote for Alan Kyei because the country is very hard and we know we need a change, and Alan Kyei is here for the youths. You know, he's disciplined and he does everything on his way. Do you get me? Yeah. So you have to vote for him, and it's for the youths. I know he will help more youths.
Alan ya panel. Alan ya panel. Koko mpefu amoto ma Alan. Alan ya panel.
Alan has promised to reduce the high taxes on imported goods, so he's the man I'll vote for.
Obey the duty nyina free so amaye am ye ho atoye am ye nya sika hwe ma ayo bia hwe sika am ye ma ko school moto malan.
Well, the political campaign season is only getting started, with the major political parties also making stops at various locations across the country. Reporting from Kokompe in Accra, Kenneth Jesse for JoyNews.
We can now listen to some voters at the coming Nkrumah Circle on what will inform their decision for which party to vote for come December 7.
I'm not going to vote because, first of all, I've been voting over the past years and I'm not seeing any changes. That's my reason why I'm not going to vote this year.
Mr. Minian Ghana Maya or Maya Yatiganim. Say Obuha was sorry, I was a meant to Aban, Mr. Mummy and fire been in Quaben na yentimi M2 abano, Emma will be Biara because on my yetimun, Semu Yada, Yenani yetimun, Semusun Yada, Yenani yetimun. It is obeti me at our men and also want to aba, 18 and Nadia open one to aba mana. Nami Yashosa away mistake kakra.
Yeah, they be influencing me mama to aba in this coming election, no. And no maybe my yashe nim say and politicians, no. And I say leaders never yama. One, sitting moon to say basic things be our say nipenya or see to me now kwan, here to me now schools, here to me now road, here to me now hospital, some basic things be our say ni pass to me now. What I know ya and number about kwan say me jina so there to about. Secondly, sika sem a kwan sika sem yen penny for no so etutu sika sem. And also one of the reasons are many jina so to about. But what share senior current administration omo teso ne senior omo manage and normal senior like area sinisi corner Ghana shame koso ye road ofa botiano road it is said there like what it is a road erosion it is said odona gata omo nya she ba omiane Kufuor administration where they chase o kan kra o dwen wan won ti ase o dwen wan won ti ase ba omi adem nim reason kran to person still no Ghana for to me nya akukudro be vote man, and I see to be Ghana to be cheap to the extent say looking at Baumia to stand in front of us telling us we should vote for him, and I see Ghana to be cheap.
Montumaba ema mahama na mahama ba bibi bia ba ya fine hwe ne wa ya kumase hwe ne wa ya nkran se wa ma wa hiafo president ya wa ba wo manimu a edi asundue eba wo mani te mesra Ghana man ba bia drona mahani mahama wo biala ye vote ye di nachi se yentimi mani pamukura meka ye de honhom edi mahama achi ase adunkatia ba bibiara wo bia mechia o eye mia bechia ba bibiara wo bia ye di susum tamoti se afi mo ba beto aba ye hia wo bia ye IPP e wo mani mawie
Usha ba omi omo claim Elian say or economic wizard. Normally kwato the head of economists na Usha ne performance circles say obe Johnson ba ko 1 cedi. So obe Johnson circles say 1 Ghana cedi. So obe call private 5 Ghana cedi na obe call private. Obe ton so 50 pesos na wa call Johnson 1 Ghana cedi. Now sorry now upon all this now utumi nya akukudro say obe gina na say yento abama wa na me hu say Ghana cry cheap. Say ba omi abetumi nya akukudro say yemeto abama no.
What will influence me to vote is because of what His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia have bring to power. He being on power as a vice president have done a lot for Ghanaians. I would say digitalization, for example. In the olden days when the NDC people were on power, there were a lot of corruptions going on. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia being on power, bringing digitalization, have helped reduce the corruption in Ghana. I think Ghanaians should go and vote to get Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to come and lead Ghana again, because the man is very incredible for Ghanaians. We can't lose him.
Abane die omani munye eti abane die me woni metu amano metu mabama NDC efisa NDC ba ebe ma omani mu atima ye kama die mehwehwe bia wo mu no bensa beka.
Now, the Electoral Commission has admonished political parties to deploy effective party agents to represent them during the December 7 presidential and parliamentary elections to foster transparency at the polls. Now, the Ashanti Regional Director of the EC, Benjamin Banobio, says the Commission is putting in place measures to ensure a transparent electoral process that reflects the desires of voters. Speaking at the launch of an electoral dashboard created by experts from the KNUST, he noted that the EC's effort must be complemented by political parties. Nana Boachi Yadom has more.
The Electoral Dashboard, created by experts from the KNUST's Faculty of Social Science, is a comprehensive and intuitive platform designed to provide real-time insights into electoral data, ensuring transparency and informed decision-making during elections. It combines advanced data visualization techniques, geographical mapping, and demographic analysis to offer a holistic view of electoral processes. Ashanti Regional Boss of the Electoral Commission, Benjamin Banobio, appreciated the effort of the university in helping the commission to conduct a transparent election.
This is a very innovative research and is going to enhance the work of the Electoral Commission to a very high level. You know, election is about information, it's about transparency, it's about fairness. You can do all things, but if you don't showcase it, people will not know what is happening. With this Electoral Dashboard, it is going to be a one-shop for all information relating to elections. It is going to make our work more transparent, and it's also going to show the level of integrity in our system.
Mr. Banobio called on political parties to contribute to the effort in ensuring a transparent election by deploying effective and efficient agents to various polling stations during the elections.
My work for the political parties is that, please, trust the Electoral Commission and the system. Get actively involved. Engage effective party agents, not just anyone who can talk. Effective party agent who knows what he's doing, so that he will be able to differentiate between 66 and 99, so that he will be able to stand up for the interests of his party or his candidate, and then let them follow due processes. If there are anything they think they are going on against the rules and regulations, they should draw the attention of the officials there, and it will be explained to him. If they check and it is so, the corrective measures will be taken. We are not hiding anything from anybody. What we want to do as a commission, to organize an election in a very free, fair, and incontrovertible manner, so that in the end, whoever lost will know that, yes, I did my best, but I lost genuinely.
Research lead on the project, Gift Dumata, says the Electoral Dashboard will contribute to Ghana's long-standing democratic status.
The Electoral Dashboard that we've developed, it's a service that we really wanted to offer to the Ghanaian public. We felt that by giving information to the Ghanaian public will stimulate participation, and if for our country we have a lot of participation in our electoral process, that will provide transparency and also enhance the legitimacy of our election that we carry out in general. And what we have, the online electoral dashboard that we provided, is to help with our conversation. And we understand that this is just the beginning. It's a start of a larger conversation, and we are very fortunate that the stakeholders are here to play their parts in terms of providing their inputs to make it better.
For JoyNews, Nana Boachi Dankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
Well, Election Headquarters, as always, is brought to you by Petrosol, quality fuels in full quantity. This is still the JoyNews Prime. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, we are not people with hearing impaired. That's the cry of chiefs and people of Adomore town. The town in the eastern region, which serves as a link between Ebri and Oyibi, is known to be the home of people with hearing impairment who have unique ways of doing things. But is this really the case? JoyNews' Adobia Asari has more in this report.
The Adomore town is sandwiched between Ebri and Oyibi. The town, over the years, has been known by many as the Deaf Village. Many stories have been told about the uniqueness of this town because it was believed to have majority of its populace to be deaf people who had their own ways of doing things. But the narrative seems to be quite different from the reality. The community folks say what is widely known and believed by people is not really the case.
Ekroma say mumu fondosun eye omu kakrebi ye ni omu living normal so ye ekroma say dia hanye deaf place. Ye just say niama na nkofo kafa mo honenye no kre enye no kra hanye mumu fu okrom. Aha ye normal town said ekrobia so tiensa na hase.
Some chiefs of the town expressed their displeasure in being exploited for stories and being called the Deaf Village.
Say, obey unamakasa met what in American and this akura. Na ayo nyamia body. Kurobia nu a mumfu and the one mumu. And this ana ayo nyamia body no. Sunday bisu abe prayer and one ma why makuma. Namu wakasa worugu kuronu mufi. Nantesa.
Sebi enna mempanfo di kankan fo bi anu a mumfu nu ko bu wa mumbu nti enkyere se kuro nu ye mumfu ne wa da ba makoma ku bi wa
eni fry kura no onyame so no ye o stifu on ti asem kuro onyame so no ye mmese hu mato so bibi wo no me wire fi wo anka meba text na ya kankan wo nti mumfu no ayo onyame satan na adwuma nti mumfu na wo kuro bia aso we amanu tuai anya se ye nkuro nkuto na bi wom Oyibi ebi wo dodua ebi wo niwa hifa sari mu abrofo kura mumfu wo ho nti anya ye nkuro nku na mumfu wom
ewo ka chenkofo ewo fufuru se hwe kuro ewo ha na kuro ye betwen chese ye ni school ye school 6 omo amkofu ku school ni ade enti se ye mumfu obi se ni wa ku school.
Oh, na say mumu for to me ko school yet me try mo say
mumu no wo school e wo mampon nti ho na mumu school how the mumu school no nia.
A few town folk also expressed their disappointment in the perception people have had about them.
Amoboa maybe akwa mumu fu ondoso ya yakase adoso che omo yemum omo dide baako enyo obia na etumi kwo owo ba okasa enti so mukasa mumu fu okro moboa kro bia so bi wo mo onkasa the same as ha anya mumu fu okro nyina yakasa me amekasa me makasa enti omoboa
mabet na ha kakra for 13 good years ekromo say mumu fu ondoso eye omu kakrebi ye ni omu living normal so ye nkromo say dia hanye deaf place
ye just say niama na nkofo kafa mo honenye no
kre enye no kra hanye mumu fu okrom aha ye normal town said ekrobia so tiensa na hase.
Kwame, a resident of the town, explains why those with the hearing impairment do not want to interact with the media.
Wankasa oba o si akorons bibre mu fo no mpese woni embe kasa dinti a won pese woni embe kasa ne se daily graphic fu bi baha be interview about mumu fo no me na me da o ma no but ye kwa statement o do ma o no wo kwa reporting no enye sa ne ba different nti ama wo mu nyina ai se obi ambese media bia ba ha no mbekasa ntini ya hye mu fo no bebra obi a say cameras wo ka agency wo mekasa wo mpese wo bekasa because their report na ifi ha koyo no nye the same report na omodema o no say kronu nyina mu fo nko a nye saneti no.
The people of Adamrobe who still suffer neglect want the narrative changed and be given their share of development.
Now, residents along a storm drain at Asylum Down in Accra are lamenting the blockage of a storm drain by plastic waste. They say the situation is leaving them at risk of having to face floods during the rainy season, and they want the authorities to quickly address the situation. JoyNews' Elikem Day visited the community, and this report is read to you.
Accra, floods have been a major headache for years. This has led to the loss of lives and many properties. Residents of Asylum Down have expressed worry over how the drains get clogged with plastic garbage and other materials. They want the relevant authorities to fix the situation to avert flooding when it rains.
I mean, this is not a gutter, it's a drain. If it chokes, it affects the environment, it affects the lives of the people, depleting the area. So when there's flood, it will go into the homes of the people around, and we will also call environmental and add more people to come and clean the place. And it's all wastage of money to the economy and to the government. The government should be, astute in their working or in their operation. As it gets built up, it will flood and it will cause the environmental hazard to the people living in that area.
Yeah, I've been working over here for almost 15 years now. I've been crossing this place all the time, but sometimes when it rain, if you see here, it's not palatable. The gutter, because of the rubbish. Even if you assume that maybe you are not here for a long time, maybe when it's raining, you pass here. This gutter, the bridge over here too, is even collapsing.
How long has the rubbish been here? You have been here for...
Oh, here for a long time.
Here for a long time. No one has come to clean it, nothing?
Nothing. Maybe they don't have the community people who will be taking care of this place as well. Those authorities, they should come or should organize the guys so they will come and be cleaning it out every weekend or every 2 weeks to help.
So we are begging the big men to come and help us to do this gutter for us, because we are suffering here.
How long has it been here? How long? How long has this? How long has the rubbish been here?
Almost. If you don't lie, almost more of that time. Almost 3 years.
It has been here, right?
Yes.
So hasn't it been affecting you guys? Like hasn't it been causing
every rainfall is worse. Sometimes that's inside our room, spoil things. Flat. So we are begging them to come and help us to do this gutter, because we are suffering.
Apart from the fact that it's getting flooded, you could see a lot of garbages in it, because it's not covered. People throw garbages in it, people defecate in it, and apart from that, also it breeds mosquito. You know, the cost of health is very expensive, and mosquitoes all over this area. And apart from that, it smells too. We are talking about making Ghana a tourist attraction. And when tourists come and see this kind of gutter over here, looking at the filth inside, it doesn't speak well. It doesn't add up to our country. It is not nice, you know. So the government should come to our area. Every time it rains and this year get flooded, they will come and tell us stories. Oh, we are coming next week. We are coming. We are coming. When it's elections time, they will bring their machines, come and do small work. And after election, that's all. It has been so since the time I've been here. You get me? So I travel, come back. Whenever I come, the same thing. Just last week, some people came over that they are coming to do. I've gotten some fund from World Bank, and they even got the fund around 2015. And 2015 up to now, still the gutter has not been done. So I wonder why the fund is there. And for the past not less than 8 to 9 years, they've not done it. You get me? It's really a worry to all of us.
Elikem Day's report read to you.
Now, 3 new office complexes have been commissioned for the district offices of the National Health Insurance Authority at Pusiga, Tempane, and Boko West, all in the Upper East region. Now, according to the Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority and Health Minister Designate, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, the new offices will help make the work of the authority easier and get more people registered on the health insurance scheme. Correspondent Albert Sori reports.
In the year 2011, I came home, and by 2 a.m., I overheard my brother's wife going out. I asked her, "Where are you going to?" And she was going to register for a card. I said, "At this hour, that if you don't get there, you wouldn't get a card." I said, "Come on."
This is the Member of Parliament for Pusiga, Hajia Ladi Ayamba, recounting the difficulties her constituents often faced trying to get themselves enrolled in the National Health Insurance Scheme. But her constituents were not alone. Former Member of Parliament for Tempane, Joseph Kpemka, also recalls how his constituents often went to neighboring Garu to queue for long hours to get registered on the scheme or have their membership cards renewed.
I stated that one of my priorities was to get Tempane separate office from Garu because of the population of the 2 constituencies at the time. So when I come to Parliament, by the kind grace of God, one day I was in office when I got a call from the then CEO, our own sister, Dr. Selby. I proceeded to her office and she disclosed the good news to me that they were bringing about 3 offices to the region and my district has been selected.
Today, the people of the Pusiga, Tempane, and Boko West districts can heave a sigh of relief as new National Health Insurance Authority NHIA officers have been commissioned for them. Until now, the Pusiga District Office of the NHIA operated from the district's Ghana Education Service building. The Tempane district had no NHIA office and had been combined with that of the neighboring Garu district. And the Boko West district NHIA operated from a small building that was provided by the district assembly. According to the acting Upper East Regional Director of the NHIA, Kasim Abdullahi, the nature of the old offices affected their operations. He was therefore hopeful that the new office complexes would help improve the situation.
For the past 2 years, they've experienced dwindling membership performance. But following the adoption of the 1,000 Kids for Health project in this district, especially toward the last quarter of 2023, we have seen an increased performance in membership enrollment. Therefore, this has triggered even to this quarter. And I hope the efforts will continue motivating people to come in, to stand and go further, so that we'll end this year at least by a membership coverage of 70% and over.
The new buildings come with office spaces, data centers, and spacious waiting areas. Commissioning the offices, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority and Health Minister Designate, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, called on NHIA staff of the various districts to let these investments by the government serve as motivation for them to work harder for the authority to achieve its targets.
It's commendable, the percentages you are doing, but we can reach 100% in the next 24 months. I'm happy to say that now we are paying the facilities on time and regularly. And they also have assured us that this attitude of taking money from people who have the card, they are going to do away with that attitude. And it is my prayer that they honor their promise.
He also called on the chiefs and community leaders of Pusiga, Tempane, and Boko West to encourage their people to get registered onto the National Health Insurance Scheme.
All of us, we should be agents of NHIS. We should tell people, get onto the scheme. It is very, very important. In fact, the chiefs, you also must help to do the education. Because if they go to the politicians and we are not around, they will come to you, the chiefs. And so just make sure that you talk to all your loved ones to register onto the scheme. I believe strongly that when we work together, it is possible to address every problem.
Plans are underway for more of these National Health Insurance Authority offices to be constructed in other districts of the Upper East region. For Joy News, Albert Sorry, Zebila, Boko West District.
A new mode of teaching and learning, which focuses on the training of parents who further transfer the knowledge acquired to their children, has been lauded by the Education Ministry as one that can help transform education, especially in rural areas. The current early childhood and education care strategy has been described as expensive as it demands a large amount of people, infrastructure and training. Although significant, this method, experts say, falls short of providing a comprehensive answer. The new approach being implemented by NGO Lively Minds is seen as a game changer. There's more in this report by Zuleha Nuhu.
The current early childhood and education care strategy has been described as expensive as it demands a large number of people, infrastructure and training. The NGO Lively Mind Solutions is for a change in mindsets of parents, especially in rural areas, to realize that despite their poverty and limited education, they have the power and means to make a change. This the NGO does by providing training to the parents who further transfer the knowledge acquired to their children. It also adopts play-based methods for learning. Speaking during a media interaction, Deputy Education Minister John Agyekum lauded the approach and described it as a game changer, saying children learn best when they are playing.
Children only learn best when they are playing and when they are engaged. Some are shy, some are timid or intimidated, or they are not really happy with the new environment. But when you engage them in play, you are able to activate their learning capacity. It is also said that 90% of the brain development of the child takes place within 1 to 5 years old. And that is why we in Ghana in 2008 mainstream kindergarten as part of our education system. And further to that, a lot of interventions have been done to ensure that right age enrollment campaign was done. We launched the early childhood education policy, and all of these is to ensure that we hit 100% gross pre-primary enrollment, which we have achieved, and we're working towards a net 100% enrollment. It's a feat that is unique across the country.
Educationist Mohammed Harun Cambodia says the approach has had a lot of positive impact, especially on children in rural areas.
We just had the ideas, we had brought the methodology, and it is now the international accepted methodology in teaching early childhood children all over the world. So this is the most modern pedagogy that we learned from other countries, and we want to be abreast, Ghana to be abreast with every other country. And that's why we feel it is a success story. You can see it today. From the contributions of members of parliament, you can see it is worthwhile.
Tamale North MP Al Hassan Sehuni says it's crucial for government to continue to collaborate with local organizations such as Lively Minds and community leaders to address the specific education needs of rural communities.
It is expected that the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service will, among other things, ensure that KG spaces are available for all KG children in Ghana, engage families and communities to provide learning opportunities at home to support children's school readiness, and to through strategic collaboration with key stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, it is not a secret that due to budgetary constraints and others, education at all levels and in most parts of the country is bedeviled by many challenges. However, it is worse and unique in rural communities, especially when it comes to early childhood education. I am convinced that it is crucial for our government to continue to collaborate with local organizations such as Lively Minds and community leaders to address the specific education needs of our rural communities. By working together, we can implement targeted interventions that will benefit both children and their families.
Pusiga MP Ladi Ayi Amba wants the project replicated in other rural communities.
Mr. Speaker, If you go to the rural communities, and I would use my own constituency as an example, I can assure you that early childhood, you better don't even talk about it. Because even if it is existent in a school, there is no care. Mr. Speaker, I wish to urge all governments, now and future, all ministers, and we here, to ensure that we support the enhancement of everything that is needed for early childhood development.
Zuleyha Nuhu's report read to you.